Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode for the Financial Freedom Podcast. And I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Liu. As you know, I started out my journey trying to find the secret sauce of quality of life and freedom. Mainstream media tells it's all about finances, the net worth, and I realized that there's multiple components to it. There's time, location, health, mental, as well as financial freedom. So once I was able to break the code, so to speak, I was on a mission to find those people that were embodying those traits. So today, I'm happy to invite Mike Roberts on the show, and he's going to talk to us all about LinkedIn, growing your brand, networking, getting more leads, sales via LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. I think it's the most underappreciated social media platform out there. And I'm happy to welcome Mike to the show. Welcome.
Hey, thank you so much. Really appreciate you having me on, and well done on breaking the 300 episodes barrier. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks so much. And it's the podcast has really grown, and it's really a passion of mine to share people's stories, get it out, and share it with the world. So tell us more about your story, how you got started, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, of course. So I have a company called Making Digital Real, and this all came from my passion and geekiness for sales and kind of breaking the barriers about how sales has been done over the last 20, 30 years. It seems like we're still doing the same old thing. And I think it was around 5 years ago, I just thought, you know what? Enough is enough. Why are we still traveling up and down the country and not utilizing these amazing digital platforms that we've been given to grow our business, grow our personal brand? And I think I speak for so many people when I say that there are so many sales managers and sales directors out there that are thinking of sales like it's still the mid-90s. It's really, really strange. And I think we haven't moved with the times in the world of sales. And that's my passion, to help people say there are better ways of doing things and there are new, fun, improved ways.
That's a fantastic segue into, what we're going to talk about is really this kind of transition and pivoting, especially marketing and digital marketing, social media, influencer. So you talk about, one thing is leveraging other people's. Well, let's start with the LinkedIn. So everybody's like on Instagram and TikTok, but really the real sales is on LinkedIn. So tell us why people should be on LinkedIn and using it and connecting and so forth.
Yeah, well, LinkedIn is, again, I've geeked out over LinkedIn over the years. Several years ago, I joined a company, and I'm still working for them to this very day, where we are providing email encryption and e-signature tools. And I've got giant corporate entities who I'm fighting against with regards to selling these types of software solutions. So I kind of took to LinkedIn and I thought to myself, okay, where do most people fail on LinkedIn? And the answer is pretty simple. They go on, they see that it looks like a very, very boring platform. They do a post, maybe they do a couple of posts. They're waiting for messages to come in and for people to buy their products or solutions, and it just doesn't happen. And then they think, I give up. I'm going to go back to Facebook or Instagram. That's where it's colorful. That's where there's cute pictures and funny, nice things happening. And I just thought to myself, do you know what? LinkedIn is full of hidden secret gems. And whenever I do a power hour with a client, I kind of go through 30 or 40 secret hidden little corners of LinkedIn. And it just amazes me when I hear people say, wow, I never knew that existed. This is going to change my whole perception of LinkedIn. And it's like, told you, there's so much more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah, it's interesting. Once I discovered LinkedIn and, I was competing with, the Instagrams, and I was like, oh, LinkedIn is, I'm always interested in trends and underdeveloped resources, more leverage. And so you mentioned something with the secret strategies. So if you can mention some of these, like how to stay ahead of your competition with sales strategies or networking strategies. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I mean, Most people who are listening to this podcast right now, I'm sure have been on some type of LinkedIn training course at some stage. And I've been to a few myself, and we all hear the same thing every time. This is how you do a banner. This is how you do a headline. Make sure you have your keywords and your hashtags in, and all these usual things that we've all heard. So I'll give you a couple of examples of things that I talk to my clients about. So the first one is there's an untapped resource on LinkedIn where you can actually have your branding and a unique hyperlink to your website of your choice visible on other people's LinkedIn profiles. And it's all done under the licenses and certifications tab. Okay. So when I'm working with a client, every single time at the end of the session, I say, would you do me a little favor? Head over to your profile, go to your licenses and certifications, just put, I don't know, advanced LinkedIn trainer or training or LinkedIn special, or whatever you want to say. And by me asking for my clients just to fill in a few boxes in the licenses and certifications tab, suddenly my logo, my branding, and a link to my page is now visible on that person's profile. So right now, in May 2023, there are around 850 LinkedIn profiles out there with my branding on it. It's free advertising, and it's such a hidden, amazing gold gem. But every time I talk to people about this, they always say, I never thought of that, or I didn't know that existed. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. All these amazing little things.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So, for the audience out there, you can go onto your LinkedIn profile and do what Mike Roberts did, licenses and certifications. Check it out. I'm sure you'll see a boost in your, whatever you're measuring. So the other thing is you talk about, so one is you leverage other people's mastering algorithms to get your content seen. Tell us more about that.
Right. Okay. So posting on LinkedIn, most people fall at the first hurdle, and they usually fall into the trap of doing things like doing a sales pitch, buy my product or service, or they put a link to a news article or their web page. So as you start to kind of work with me and find out more about the algorithm, you'll find out things like the algorithm doesn't like you taking its audience away from their platform. So you put your hyperlink in the comments. But then you also need to be aware that you shouldn't be the first person commenting on your own post. So be the second or third or fourth. Most people add an image to their post. Turn that image into a PDF. You can give that PDF a title which is keyword driven. If you're going to do an image which is a PDF, make it tall rather than a square, because suddenly that image now takes up more of the space on the audience's feed. Take up more of the page than anyone else's post. Tag people into your post. Tag your business page in every single post that you do, because those tags are hyperlinks. And if you're taking people on a sales and marketing journey with your posts, take them to your business page, take them to a showcase page, which is one of your products or services, which LinkedIn now give you the ability to have its own unique page. So when you start figuring out all these magic secret ingredients of LinkedIn posts, suddenly you'll go from 20 views to 2,000 views, all because you're feeding the algorithm what it wants and making it push your content out to right people rather than restrict it.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. And you talk about, it's so interesting when you can, kind of quote, hack the system and, get more for less just by very small tweaks, small things you can do. So you talked a little bit about the marketing aspect, how to do some of these, get more views, more leads. We'll transition into the sales part. So you talk about video messaging is important with the sales process. So tell us more about how to stay ahead of the competition with these types of sales strategies.
Yeah, of course. I was listening to one of your recent episodes earlier, and I was listening to the one with Bridget Norris, and she was talking about how you break free from conformity and create a life of your own design. Well, this kind of fits in perfectly with this, because everybody else on LinkedIn is black text on a white background to their recipients. Everybody's doing the same thing. They're writing on their keyboard and sending a message to their recipient. I send video messages now. 5 years ago, I was training people on how to send video messages. And I said to them, 5 years from now, everybody's going to be doing it. And I'm absolutely gobsmacked that nobody is doing it still. I thought this would be the norm, and it's still not. But I'll give you an example. I do a search on LinkedIn and I find my perfect future client. This is the type of person I really want to deal with. Or if we just be completely honest with ourselves, sell to. I want them to buy my product or service. So in order for me to break that barrier and be different than everyone else, I'm going to go to BombBomb or Vidyard or whatever it is that I'm using, and I'm going to record a 60-second message, and I'm going to say, David, thanks for connecting. Listen, I wanted to keep this LinkedIn relationship going, and I don't want it to fall at the first hurdle. So I just want to introduce myself properly, let you know who I am. Whether our solution is a good fit for you or not, it doesn't really matter at this stage, but I'd really like to keep in touch, and please let me know if I can share any of your content or make any introductions for you. That gets me a reaction every single time. Okay. And some people say to me, Mike, I couldn't do that. You know, it feels like I'm just being really, not doing the right thing. And I says, well, why don't you start by asking the recipient? So if you've just connected with somebody, say to them, thank you for connecting, David. Would it be okay if I record a quick 60-second video for you and introduce myself properly? I just want to be a little bit different to everybody else on LinkedIn. And the last thing I want you to do is thinking that I'm an Insta picture. And as soon as they respond and say, Mike, absolutely. And you know what? I'm actually trying to get my team to do this. So if you could send me one, so you're going to impress them. And I always have my little whiteboard handy for the recording of the video. So it's got their first name written on it. So when they see that message in their inbox, it's an animated GIF with their first name on there. So now they know that this video has been recorded for them, and it's not some type of spammy video I've sent to thousands of people. And secondly, they're going to open that video and play it in the comfort of their own environment at the right time for them when they're relaxed and they've got 60 seconds to digest this video. So suddenly we're rehumanizing the whole sales approach. They can see me, they can hear me, they can understand the passion I have for what I do. That is so much more powerful than just being text on a background.
Yeah, interesting. It sounds like you're 5 years ahead. You find ways of innovating and staying ahead. So, the last part of this conversation is going to be about future-proofing your sales pipeline, because, everything is, as you described, everything is, what worked in the past doesn't work now. So how do you future-proof your sales pipeline?
Well, future-proofing the way that I do sales is always, like you just said, always been about being 5 years or so ahead of what anyone else is doing. In 2010, I was presenting in front of clients with an iPad before anybody else was doing it, literally when the iPad just came out. And I'm sure that there's going to be future forms and things like that we'll be able to use as time goes on. And at the moment, I feel like I'm at the edge of what I can do in terms of what's available. But right now, what I'm doing with my clients, I'm talking to them about utilizing different pieces of technology to make that LinkedIn journey even better for you. So ChatGPT, how to use that better to create that content, how you can use ChatGPT to create amazing logos and graphics for your posts. Because if you're using something like Discord and Midjourney to create AI generated images, well, most people fall at the first hurdle with Midjourney because they don't know what to write in that prompt. Well, now we've got things like ChatGPT to say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to create. I want it to be fun. I want it to use these colors and I want it to use these words. Create a prompt for me that I can give to Midjourney that I can use in this LinkedIn post. And by the way, the call to action will be for people to sign up to my next live event. So now we're not just talking about LinkedIn. We're using 3 or 4 amazing tools to create that one piece of content that could be the difference between you and your next biggest client opportunity.
Yeah, fascinating. There's ChatGPT is really awesome. It's really it's 10x, and it's amazing with you can go on the YouTube and look at like prompt engineering, and it's amazing how you can incorporate text to video and audio incorporate with pictures and create avatars. And just so I encourage everybody to play around with it. It's really amazing tool and technology, like you said. The other thing is that this sales, where do you see the future of sales going, and why?
I think the future of sales is changing massively. My word of warning is that if you're still doing sales the way that you've always done it and you're struggling, nothing's going to get easier for you. If you're still driving up and down the country, pitching to suits, leaving the building with "I'll think about it," and then suddenly the prospect ghosting you and you being a chaser rather than a professional salesperson. And that is what a lot of people are still doing. Their pipelines are getting smaller, their stress levels are getting higher, and they're not utilizing the amazing world of personal branding, digital technology, and how they can really look at rehumanization and globalize to grow their business, their income, and their success.
Yeah, I love that. And that example that you gave with, you have to get in your car and drive and do a presentation. Now you can just basically wake up, get to your computer, and then everything from your laptop to the internet connection is really, massively.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And, used to you had to go to conference after conference and network, but now you can use LinkedIn. One final thing is, what are 3 easy sales strategies that the listeners can implement tomorrow in their businesses? And tell us why you're so passionate about sales.
Yeah. Okay. So number 1 would be, and again, let's go back to LinkedIn for a second. Let's utilize 3 nice little LinkedIn strategies for your listeners. Number 1, head back to your LinkedIn profile and just count how many sentences in your about section start with the letter I. If you're talking about yourself and it's I this, I that in every single sentence, go back and turn that around and talk about your clients. Talk about their fudwacker words. Why are your clients frustrated? What do they get upset about? What are they disappointed about? What can make them anxious? Talk about your clients and their world, and also utilize a couple of real life stories in the about section. So I worked with this person. They were frustrated with that. They were wasting this much money every year on this. By working with us at Making Digital Real, they've now suddenly found that they can do this, and they've generated £3,000 more of income. Real life situations and real people and real numbers are so hot right now in terms of the about section, but don't make it all about you. Yeah. So that would be number 1. Number 2 is, this is what someone can do instantly. Go to your LinkedIn profile from your mobile app, click on your photo, and upload that 30-second profile video. Let people see you, hear you, and understand how passionate you are about what you do. Rehumanize your profile, because as soon as you upload that 30-second profile video, I promise you, your number of followers will increase. Your engagement rates are going to go through the roof, because people now see you as a person, not just a head and shoulders shot and a digital presence.
I love that.
Yeah. And number 3, in terms of sales, let's just move away from LinkedIn for 1 second. I would probably say, stop chasing people. Stop being a typical salesperson and pitching and chasing them. If they want your products and services, great. But say to them at the beginning of this conversation or the phone call, just say, let's just get something straightened out of the way. If we're a great fit for you, let me know. And if we're not, that's fine. But just don't give me an I'll think about it, because A, I'm not going to chase you after this call. And B, if we're going to work together, I just want to be clear from the beginning. They're going to respect you so much more for that. And you're going to stand out so much better than the other sales reps. I hate that term. who continually do that.
Your final comment about the sales reps was brought up a lot of funny stories when we were in clinic, and then basically they had to create a barrier, and then sales reps had to like sign in because they were just so aggressive and so what a great interview. I love LinkedIn. Really check it out. It's really the most underutilized, underappreciated resource. Can really 10x your results. And with algorithms changing across Instagram and TikTok and all these, really check out LinkedIn. So how can people contact you, follow you, reach out to you on social media, and possibly work with you?
Yeah. So just look for Mike Roberts. The business is called Making Digital Real. And the website is Vault, VAU. There's loads of freebies. There's loads of downloads. And when you download some of my freebies in there, you'll actually find some hidden content that you can get access to free of charge as well. So go in there, have a play around and see what you can get to help utilize your sales journey to the next level.
Nice. I love that reference of hidden gems and just playing around. So, for the audience, let's thank Mike for coming onto the show. Again, talking about LinkedIn, something I'm really passionate about. He's on Facebook, of course, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and all of his resources will be in the links and show notes. So thanks so much, Mike, for coming onto the podcast.
No, thank you. And keep up the good work. It's an awesome show. Well done.
Yeah.